So Doom on the Switch, I've got it for a few days now by the time this video has gone live. In a previous video I talked about my impressions of the multiplayer. I'm having so much fun playing the multiplayer. It's worth the £45 I paid for the game alone. It really is. Or the £43.51 I paid for the game to be precise. But pretty much what I want to do in this video is give my first impressions of the game. I put in around about 4 hours in the game. I can't really call this a review just because you can't really review a game after 4 hours of play. So this is just my first impressions of the game. I've played a single player, I've played a multiplayer, but I haven't played the arcade mode yet at this time of recording. I will do by the time this video goes live, but I haven't at this time of recording. So Doom on the Switch, it replicates a really big milestone for the Switch just because this is the first third-party game that has come out this generation. It is a PS4 game. It came out last year in 2016, but the fact that this game is running on the Switch, it is really impressive. And I guess that's just the first thing I've got to say. I'm impressed that Bethesda, id Software and Panic Button managed to get this PS4 game running on a tablet. I really am impressed by that. The frame rate is 30 frames per second. It is 720p docked, and that is the same handheld mode as well. So I'm just going to start off with the single player. The single player, I couldn't really notice a drop in the graphics, but I haven't done my comparison video yet. Probably when I have done my comparison video, I will notice the difference between the two. But literally, I only played the single player demo on the PS4 the Monday before I got the game, so only a few days ago, and that is how much I have played of the single player of Doom on the Switch. So I've played the same content from the PS4 version as the Switch version as well, and I couldn't really notice that much of a difference, to be completely honest. So the frame rate, I am a little bit concerned about the frame rate just because in certain sections of that it did dip, and you will see that on the screen, and I did actually die. I won't say because of that, but I did die playing Doom on the Switch. There was a few frame rate issues there, which is quite concerning, seeing as this is 720p 30 FPS like what I said. But I'm having no frame rate issues with the multiplayer. It is silky smooth like butter. It really is. But with the single player, I did notice a few frame rate dips when I did run into quite a lot of enemies on screen. That's just what I've got to notice. But all in all, I'm really impressed that this game is, running on the Switch, and I'm having really good fun playing the single player. Yeah, it's just a good time. Really is a good time. I think now is the perfect time to interrupt this video because this video was originally supposed to be uploaded on Saturday, but unfortunately I didn't have the time to upload this video when I wanted to. So by the time that this video was supposed to go live, and today, of course, I have played a lot more of Doom. I probably have put in another 4 or 5 hours into the game, and unfortunately I have noticed some issues within the multiplayer, and unfortunately the frame rate dips that I thought were exclusive to the single player are actually happening in the multiplayer as well. It is a really big shame, but pretty much on some maps, and whenever there is a full lobby, and whenever there is a lot of enemies on screen and a lot of action on screen, the frame rate takes a noticeable dive. It really does, and that is really disappointing. Like what I said, I thought this game was actually 720p 30 FPS, but it turns out that according to what Digital Foundry found out, that the game runs around about 500p. I'm not sure what frame rate they discovered. Around about 500p, 600p, something like that. So it doesn't even run in 720p. And that sort of reminds me of a Wii U port, like what we saw on the Wii U, stuff like that. So the fact that the frame rate isn't a locked 30 frames per second, I just find that really disappointing, to be completely honest. I thought the frame rate would be locked at 30 FPS. I didn't think this game would suffer from frame rate issues, but unfortunately it does. You know, I'm used to playing shooters on the Wii and Wii U. I've played Call of Duty on the Wii, GoldenEye on the Wii, Conduit on the Wii, and Medal of Honor, Ghost Recon. I've pretty much played a lot of shooters on the Wii. I've played Devil's Third on Wii U, 007 Legends on Wii U, as well as Black Ops 2 and Call of Duty Ghost. Now, I can't really say for certain whether the Wii U games suffered from the same amount of frame rate issues as what Doom is suffering at this moment in time, but you know, I definitely did experience frame rate dips on shooters on the Wii, and when I play shooters on the PC, because of my PC, I do suffer from frame rate issues on my PC as well. But I thought I would have been past that by now. I thought with new hardware, I thought I would have been past that sort of like issue. So I'm a little bit disappointed by it. Like, does it ruin the game? I guess it's a huge negative on the game, but I'm still having fun playing the game. It's just that it's just disappointing that the game does suffer from frame rate issues. And you are watching some clips on screen. The map that you are watching on screen now, this map is definitely a map that does suffer from frame rate issues. I have noticed quite a lot of frame rate issues whenever I do play on this map, but it's not just exclusive to this map. I am experiencing it on quite a lot of the maps as well, especially when there are a lot of enemies on screen. So I thought, because I hadn't had time to post this video, I was actually going to post this video yesterday. I was editing this video, but then I heard myself saying, you know, multiplayer is butter smooth, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to delay this video to today so that I can actually talk about the issues within multiplayer. I really hope these issues do get fixed, but yeah, it's just, I wouldn't necessarily say it ruins the game, but it's definitely disappointing. It really is disappointing. So I'm just going to leave you to watch the rest of the video that I did record the other day. And like what I said, this video was supposed to go live on Saturday, but I thought because I didn't have the time to post it when I wanted to, I thought now's the perfect time to talk about those multiplayer issues, and I probably will talk about them in a future video as well. So yeah, that is it for this little section of the video, and I will transition into the rest of the video. I guess my one big disappointment with this game is that there is no gyro aiming, because I've said many a times I could take frame rate dips, I could take resolution drops if I had gyro aiming like what we've got in Splatoon 2 or Wii Remote pointer controls. Just because, you know, I took that sacrifice on the Wii. I played Call of Duty on the Wii, and Call of Duty on the Wii looked like absolute trash compared to the other PS3 and Xbox 360 versions. But I didn't care, just because the gameplay experience, like the pointer controls, was so much fun. It really was so much fun. I didn't really care how bad it looked. And you know, I can remember on Modern Warfare 3 on the map Village, there was so many frame rate dips on that map, but I didn't really care because Wii Remote pointer controls for shooters, it's really fun. So really, I'm disappointed that Bethesda, id Software, Panic Button didn't implicate that. I definitely need it, just because I do so much better with gyro aiming than I do with stick controls. That's just how I always work. My aim is completely off in this video. You will see that in the multiplayer gameplay if there is any multiplayer in the background. But single player, I couldn't really notice a drop in the graphics, to be completely honest. But like what I said, when I do my comparison video, when I compare the Switch to the PS4 version, which is already up on the channel now, but haven't done that at this time of recording, I probably will notice a drop there. But actually playing the game, it's like if you're picking up the Switch version, this game looks good. It looks good, but if you know, coming from the PS4 version, then you probably will notice a drop in graphics. But that is to be expected. So let's just move on to the multiplayer. So the first thing I did with the multiplayer is play against bots. The one thing I'm disappointed about that is that you can't do a full lobby. So it is just 4 versus 4 against bots, which is a little bit disappointing in my opinion. I think the lobby is 6 versus 6 online. But against bots you can only do 4 versus 4. And they probably did that, like frame rate and stuff like that, resolution, so that it wouldn't drop that much, having so many enemies on screen. But then again, they've already done that with the multiplayer. Why couldn't they do that against bots? So yeah, I pretty much played on the same map that I could play on in the beta, and I did notice straight away that there was a drop in the graphics. But pretty much 2 seconds later, I didn't care, just because I'm playing Doom on the Switch, and it was, it's just a great time. It really is a great time. The multiplayer, I've said this before in my live commentary, do not sleep on the multiplayer, because if there is a lot of people playing the multiplayer, it will send out a message to the likes of Activision to bring over Call of Duty, just because if you've got a load of people, then they will know that Switch owners, they like competitive online first-person shooters. So that is why I picked up the game, to show support for Bethesda, just because this is the only first-person shooter that you can play. So you can play like Team Deathmatch and stuff like that. So that is why I did pick up the game. And plus I wanted to play the game anyway, just because I had a blast on the PS4 version. And I thought, you know what, I may as well pick up the Switch version, just because I'm sure the PS4 version is probably dead online at this moment in time. So I thought I may as well pick up the Switch version, and plus it would show my support for first-person shooters on the platform, and I definitely want to see more of that. But yeah, the multiplayer is so much fun. I love the pickups. So the BFG is really fun. You got the Gauze gun, that is really fun, and of course you've got the demons and the revenants and stuff like that. That is really, really fun as well. Really, really is fun. I'm having such a blast with the multiplayer, and I'm going to put in about 200 hours into this due to the multiplayer. But of course I'm going to complete the single player. Really, really am. But yeah, multiplayer, so much fun. Really, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Haven't played all of the game modes yet, but I definitely will do. Hopefully I can actually get into those game modes. So I'm really hoping that this game sells well, but because of the frame rate dips and the resolution drop, I'm sort of re-evaluating what I will do in terms of all third-party games on the system. It's like, if I've already bought the game, like Rocket League, I'm not picking up Rocket League just because I don't have the time or the money to pick that up, just because I've already bought it for free on the PS4. But I would pick up Overwatch if it did have like Nintendo costumes. I will pick up Payday 2 just because I've never played the game, so I will pick up third-party games where I've never played them before, even though I can play them on the PS4. I thought, you know what, with Payday 2, it's probably dead on the PS4, so I may as well pick up the Switch where you got new players on there. So where new games come out that I've never played before, then I will pick them up on the Switch. I am picking up LA Noire, just because that's got motion control as well. So if there is new features like HD Rumble, gyro aiming, point controls with the IR camera, then I will pick up third-party games on the Switch. But if it's just a box standard port, then I might just go with the PS4 version, to be completely honest, or I might just pick up the Switch version just to provide coverage on the channel. But it's sort of got me re-evaluating what I will do moving forward. But I'm still having fun playing the game regardless. So yeah, I think if there is nothing unique about the Switch version, then I may as well just pick up the PS4 version, just because I don't really play my Switch in handheld form. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about at this moment in time. But Doom on the Switch, don't get me wrong, like, don't get it twisted, it's still a good port. It's just I'm a little bit disappointed that there is frame rate dips in the single player, but I'm still having fun playing the multiplayer, still having fun playing the single player, and yeah, hopefully this game does sell well. I think Bethesda, they deserve a lot of credit for supporting the Switch. You know, they didn't wait for the Switch to sell, before they brought over Doom, Skyrim and Wolfenstein. So that is why I hope this game does sell well. But yeah, I'm having fun playing the game. That is it for my first impressions. Leave me your first impressions of Doom on the Switch down below, and I will see you next time.